Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's the first time, my name is Toluwani and I film content on travel, medicine and lifestyle, obviously. So this video is going to be something different from what you've seen so far. Making this video a bit spontaneous because a lot of people have been asking this question. A lot of people going to Dominica. This is going to be a Dominican video because I've been working on like my wedding content for the past like 3-4 months. So if you've not watched those videos, please go back and watch them after watching this, right? So this is going to be on how can you travel to Dominica. That question has been on my Instagram page from a lot of students that want to go to my school, which is also at the University School of Medicine, Dominica. If you ask them, Tolu, how can I go to Dominica? I have a student that I helped to get admission. I didn't have a US visa, a UK visa, and then she had to like go another route. Yes, so this video doesn't cover everything that you would want to know on how to travel to Dominica. Now, please, just note here, I'm not a travel consultant or travel agent or anything like that, or a government personnel. I'm making this video from my own view. Means I've traveled Dominica more than 5 times from Nigeria and from the US. So for those asking me or have been asking me on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel, how can you travel to Dominica, I'm here to give you a few tips, and I'm going to first of all take you to the site. You're going to first of all go to discoverdominica.com to see the requirements on how to enter Dominica. Now, Dominica is, if I believe I'll use the word, a visa-free country for Nigerians. Now, visa-free doesn't mean it's forever. I think it's about 12 weeks or 3 months visa-free for Nigerians. Now, but if you're coming to Dominica as a student, then there's different rule that applies for you. So let's start. So the first thing, like I said, is to go to discoverdominica.com, and then you see all the requirements that they've written out here. So the first requirement I'll say is to have a valid international passport from your country. So if you're Nigerian, you're born in Nigeria, please have a Nigerian passport. If you're from the UK and you were born in Nigeria, please have either the UK or the Nigerian passport. So anyhow, wherever you were born or whatever passport you have, please have a valid international passport. People always say you should have a passport expiring more than 6 months, but I would advise anybody I've helped get into all sense that have a passport expiring at least more than a year. So for example, if you're this 2023, your passport should expire 2024, 2025, so that just in case you get Dominica and you want to stay there longer than you expect. For example, maybe you're going for school and maybe something keeps you there in all sense, or some Dominica Delta living, you don't have to start finding a way to renew your passport. So I advise people that are coming into Dominica as a student, please, I beg you, have a valid passport of at least more than a year. So it should be expiring the next year of you entering Dominica, just in case. Now, the second thing I'll say is please get your COVID-19 vaccine card ready. So either you get a COVID vaccine card or you do your COVID-19 test. But I advise people now is to get their COVID-19 vaccine card because it's way easier. Get your vaccines wherever you are in the US, Nigeria, and the UK. Get the shots done, get the card. You just have to show them. You don't have to start doing 48 hours expiring, this expiring. Especially in this time where we have, I think Dominica may have the COVID-19 rules, but I'm not sure. But just to be safe, please have your COVID-19 vaccination cards. Or if you can't do that, get your COVID-19 test done 48 hours prior to leaving. Our advice in your passport is to please have like that's why I said you can have a year more passport expiration, because you need to have blank pages, because now we're going to stamp on your passport that okay, you've entered Dominica. When you leave Nigeria, let's say you're transiting through the US government to stamp, right? You get to maybe Barbados government to stamp. So wherever you're going to stop, like your transit, the government is going to stamp. I don't want to have a passport that the pages are filled up. So try to have at least 5 empty pages in your passport. But like I advised earlier, please have a passport expiring a year or 2 years. Well, now if you are a travel like person, you travel to a lot of countries, and then you have a passport expiring in 3 years where you have very less pages, please go and ask for a new passport. I think it's good that make you ask for like more passport pages so that you can be able to stamp on your passport. So the next requirement, like I said before, is to have a tourist visa. Now when you get into the island in Dominica, you don't need a visa to go into Dominica, but I would also advise when you get Dominica, find out their rules, what applies to you, your home country. If you're in Nigeria, I think it's 3 months, but from the US it might be 6 months or so. And I know if you're a student, a different requirement because you're coming there for school and not for vacation. So please forget to Dominica. Please make sure you find out their rules right there in the airport. That immigration officer, please, what's my requirement for me as a student when I need to get my visa done? But if you're an outside student, you can just go to school and ask school about your visa, and they'll help you do that. Now, there's one thing students always forget to do, and that is to have a return ticket. Now, if you're traveling through the US or through the UK, they would always ask you for a return ticket. Whether you're going to Dominica, so once you're passing through their country, they'll ask for a return ticket. I'm sure of the US, because that's where I've passed through. I've passed through the UK. The US always asks you to show them your return ticket out of the US, because like me, when I travel from Nigeria to US, then US to Dominica, so they want to see a return ticket out of the US when I'm coming back. So people say, oh, they like, what I know what people do is that they get to Dominica and then they ask for a refund of the ticket, but always have your return ticket, just to save you face and wahala. Do you understand? I have a friend that because she had a return ticket, they almost sent her back, like she got into Dominica and the immigration people almost sent her out of Dominica. So please always have your return ticket, just in case any problem with it. You can just settle them. You can always go back, right, and ask for a refund from your airline. They'll give you maybe half or 50 or 70% of the money you paid for your ticket. That's very important. Please have your return ticket. So I think that is all for the requirements. Remember, I said you have to have a valid passport. Your passport should have blank page, at least 5 blank pages still left in your passport. You should have your COVID-19 vaccination card or COVID-19 test done. Then you should also have a valid return ticket available. So now let's go to the other point whereby someone does not have a US or UK visa and you want to travel to Dominica. Now Dominica has various routes, guys. This question has been asked by people a lot of times, like how can I get, if you don't have a US or UK visa, there are routes going to go to Dominica. You can also use the Schengen visa. Get the Schengen, I think it's an easier visa to get. You can also follow the long route, like what most students do. You follow through Nigeria, from Nigeria, you follow through Nigeria, you get to, I think, Ethiopia, you get to Brazil, like you go, you can spend like 4 or 5 days. But if you don't have a US or UK, so that's another route I know that people go through to Dominica. Do you understand? So you can ask your travel agents to help you get another route to get to Dominica. Although I know there's a little bit of restrictions, that's why I said it's better to have COVID-19 vaccination card than the COVID-19 test result done, because by the time you're traveling for 4 to 5 days when your test that you've done has expired, the country you're going to Brazil might tell you to please go and do another test because they're seeing that your test has expired. Do you understand? That's why I said you should please have the COVID-19 vaccination. So if you're traveling to Dominica maybe in September for September semester that's coming up, please go and get your vaccine done now. We're in June, so you can get that done now. So you can take your 3 vaccines, I believe 3 weeks, a month in between each of the vaccines. Then you get them done, and then you have your card very available, so you don't have to face any restrictions on anything. Now, so like I said, this is the long route, right? You can follow through the Brazil, all of them, get to the island and get to Dominica. It's a long route, but it's doable. Now the second option, you have a UK visa, which is an easier option. So the UK visa, you go from Nigeria, you get to the UK, then you can get to Barbados, other neighboring islands like Antigua and other places. Depends on the route your flights or your travel agency of travel consultants books for you to Dominica. If you want to get to the US, you follow Nigeria, which is most like Port Harcourt, Lagos, or Abuja. You get into the US. It can be a straight flight to like Atlanta, or you can be connecting flights. You get to Atlanta, then you get straight to Barbados or Puerto Rico, which is San Juan. From San Juan, you get to Dominica. Now the route I usually follow is Lagos or Abuja to Atlanta. I get a connecting flight from Atlanta to either New York. I go straight to Barbados or straight to Puerto Rico. From Puerto Rico, I get into Dominica. So that's why I spend like maybe a day. But the 3 routes that I know get to Dominica, either use your US, your UK, or the long route. So the airlines I know that fly to Dominica are like Qatar Airlines, Ethiopia Airlines, Delta Airlines. Not really to Dominica per se, but if you're following, let's say you're going through the long route, you want to get through, you can use Ethiopia Airlines from Nigeria. It'll take you straight to, let's say, Barbados. So to take you Nigeria, Brazil, to connect to, definitely some flights might change, like some airline might change, but it's under the same Ethiopia umbrella, right? Then we get to the last bus stop, which might be Panama. Local like airlines like maybe JetBlue or Seaborn or any airline can take you out from there. But I know to get to Dominica itself from like Barbados, it might either be Seaborn or I think for those in America, American Airlines now takes people from Miami to Dominica straight. But now American Airlines is actually flying the Dominican route now. So if you're going to Dominica as a student, or you just need to send my school, this is also university, your flight itinerary, they will most likely send a taxi to come and pick you up from the airport. So that saves you from paying bus fare from the airport to Dominica to the town. That's where the school or your apartment is. So that's basically all about the travel requirements and travel updates on Dominica. But if you have more questions, so drop it in the comment section and I'll try to make more videos. If you don't know, I'm making wedding content right now, so I had to like pause to make this video because a lot of students are be asking me, and most of them are going to Dominica in September and they would like to know. So if you have any question, just message me on Instagram at MissStephen__STEPHEN and I would answer your questions. I'm always there and available. If you also need help getting into all sense, or you need help me with admission or anything, send me a message on Instagram too. Guys, that's all for this video. Before I go, subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment, and I'll hopefully be making more videos on Dominica as time goes on. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.